Welcome back, Lash, everybody, to another episode of A Work in Progress, AWI Pod, if you will, the wrestling podcast that hosts nothing but nonsense. I'm your host, Brent Piles, and with me tonight, this evening, is my co-host from, he's not even across the United States, he is just a few states over from me. They say we're Midwest, but you're probably Mid-East, and I'm Central as fuck. He's the mayor of Canton. Mayor, how are you doing?
It's a Mid-East thing, y'all. Yeah, I'm doing well. You're right. I'm 1 hour ahead of you. It is Cavs versus Indiana Pacers, two Midwest teams playing for elimination game here right now. So I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I can't complain. I'm trying to think of something that I could complain about, but I can't even
Complain about complaining.
I can't even complain about complaining. No, I can't. There's not even a thing that I could pretend to complain about because I don't have anything to complain about. So I am doing well. I'm doing fine and fantastic. So there was a premium live event this weekend, and we did do our picks. Of course, Glenn didn't participate in the picks because he is not feeling well right now, and he's still not 100% yet. So we're going to be without Glenn for another week. But he did send me his picks in our Twitch, in our Discord chat, and he let me know his picks. And he, after the second match, Glenn had us beat. So.
Yeah, I'm sure he retained. He was the champion previously, so it would have been hard to take it off of him on a 5-match show.
Yeah, well, me and you basically picked all the same ones, except for you picked Orton at the end just because you wanted just to be different. And we both picked Becky, and he picked Lara, and that's what did it.
Yeah.
So as soon as Lara beat Becky, I say, well, Glenn's the champion still.
Congratulations to Glenn on his championship retention.
Yeah, so, you watched the whole show, right?
Yeah, I saw every match. I thought it was a good pay-per-view overall from start to finish. You know, I like the smaller cards. I wish there'd be a little bit less story building video packages between each of them, but it's good, especially if you're a casual viewer and you aren't watching, Monday and Friday nights. It kind of builds up the build up to the match each time. So it's nice.
Yeah, I think we talked about that last week where I said, like, sometimes people don't follow the weekly show. They only watch the premium live event. So I do think that there is, while, like, us, hardcore fans don't need these, video packages every match, it is nice for the casual fan. So I think it's good. And the best thing about the pay-per-views now is, even if it's only 5 matches, which I don't ever have a problem with, I think 5 matches is plenty for a pay-per-view or a premium live event. Is they don't go until fucking 11 o'clock, by about, 11 o'clock your time, 10 o'clock my time, they're winding down, which is nice. I really, really like that about them because I don't want to watch wrestling until midnight,
I'm asleep by 10:45. It's hard for me to even make it to 11.
Yeah, the older you get, the harder it is to stay awake.
And some of these AEW shows that are on, they run to 1 o'clock, 1:15 in the morning. They keep going.
Forget about it.
Yeah, we all aren't putting that sugar booger up our nose to keep us going. So,
right. Yeah, no. So what did you think about the debut of, I don't know if they're going to call him this, but his name is Jeff Cobb. And they tend to just let people keep their names nowadays, so I assume they're just going to call him Jeff Cobb. I think it's stupid to change people's names because people already know who the fuck he is anyway, so it doesn't matter. What did you think about the debut of Jeff Cobb?
I think it's in a good place for him. I mean, if you're getting thrown into a bloodline storyline on your initial debut, I mean, says a lot. I don't know what that does for Tongaloa and what's the other guy's name?
Tongaloa and
Tamatonga. Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing that they're going to split off from Jacob, and Jacob's going to have a monster babyface run because the crowd can't stop cheering for him.
Yeah.
He's an absolute monster in the ring. Like, you should be fearful of this man, but the crowd is going crazy for him. They love him because he does all the cool stuff, and he's really good at it. So
yeah, it's hard to boo that guy. And then
It's
I love
hard to do.
I love the reaction by him too. Like he was like the look on his face was kind of like, "What the fuck are we doing?" You
Yeah,
know,
what
and
what's
I
Bob
like that.
doing
And I
here?
like that he like hesitated because he wasn't quite sure what to do. And you could definitely see that they know that Jacob's going to be a baby face, and I think that they know that there's going to be nothing that they can do to change that, and so they're just going to roll with it. Um, I didn't have high hopes that Toma Tonga, and Tonga Loa were going to do a whole lot on the main roster. I like Toma Tonga, and I think he's a good promo, and there's nothing wrong with Tonga Loa as a wrestler, but he just isn't going to he's not going to get in there and light the world on fire talking. And so, and when you're in the WWE, you're not going to be able to do a whole lot unless you can talk. You know, I mean, you can do stuff, but you're not going to get into the main event picture or anything like that if you can't cut a good promo. So, them standing behind Solo looking menacing is all I ever thought that would be coming from them. So, but I don't know. It definitely keeps things interesting with the bloodline, at least for me. I don't think that Jeff Cobb is Samoan. I could be wrong on that. I know he's Polynesian of some sort, but I don't think he's Samoan. I think he might be from the
Cobb
Philippines,
County, Georgia?
perhaps.
From Cobb
What'd
County,
you say?
Georgia? Is it from Cobb County, Georgia?
Yeah, he is from Cobb County. No, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. So we'll see where that goes. It's interesting. And then I really thought that the best match on this show was the women's Intercontinental Championship match between Lara and Becky. It was just really, really good.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to say the exact same thing. I thought their match stole the show for me. It went a long time, but not in a bad way. They had me, drawn in, paying attention to every single counter, every reversal. They worked so well together. And I don't know if this is their second match against one another, I believe, unless they had, matches back in good old Ireland.
I don't know how old Lara is, and I don't know how compared to Becky, but maybe, who knows?
But I feel like there's no way, because Becky's been in WWE a long time, so it would be tough. So I can't imagine Lyra is over 30.
And she was signed to NXT UK, I think, for most of the NXT UK run. So, because even when I was super into NXT UK, which was from 2020 up until it ended in 2022, I think she wasn't even on TV really because she was injured. So, when she showed up on NXT, that was the first time I had ever seen her. So, and I think she's really come a long way, especially in terms of selling. I thought she did a great job selling in that match.
It was so good. It was up there with one of the better women's matches I've seen in a long time. And I really enjoyed her promo work too, because I thought she was really stale as a character.
Yeah.
And until this last, feud with Becky, I couldn't get behind her. I didn't care. I hate to say when I just didn't care. I couldn't be drawn in to care about what she was doing in the ring because I couldn't connect to her because she didn't have a character of any sort.
Right. That makes
just
sense.
seemed like an absence of personality. But now she's come out of her shell, and I think she's doing a great job. I give her tons of credit on, getting comfortable, because that's got to be a hard thing to do for someone that just get into that comfort zone in front of all of these people. Either you naturally have it, like someone like a Logan Paul, or you've got to build up to it where you're not afraid to, put yourself out there. And I think she's finally gotten past that barricade where she's not afraid to, go for it.
I think we're obviously seeing now with a new regime of the people who are in charge of creative is that people are getting more of a chance to sort of be themselves. And I think that's why you're getting so many, more genuine characters than you have in years, because you're getting more of people actually being themselves than you had in probably 10 or 15 years, because it had been so overproduced for so long. And now you can tell people are just getting bullet points. We want you to hit these 3 bullet points during your promo, but besides that, say whatever the fuck you want to say. And I think that's really worked to her. And it's nice to see that they're actually, the things that they're learning to do in NXT is actually, helping them when they get to the main roster. Because for so long, it was you didn't want your favorite NXT superstar to get called up to the main roster because they were just going to ruin them.
Yeah, they're going to get beat. They're going to at best have 50-50 booking.
Yep.
And then that almost is worst. I'd rather just lose every single match and have something to complain about than just be 50-50. Like, you don't want to be in the middle of anything.
Yeah.
Booking and wrestling.
There's a lot less of that going on too, the 50-50 booking. And I don't know why they fell into that habit, but it's nice that they're not doing it anymore. Let's see, there was Pat McAfee and Gunther, which it felt like it went a lot longer than 9 minutes. What did you think?
I can't believe it went 9 minutes. It felt like 25 minutes of, just very slow plodding pace. I thought it was way too much offense and for Pat. I would have liked to have just seen Gunther maybe, beat the hell out of him, and maybe Pat getting a little bit off like a distraction of some sort.
Yeah.
But I got to give credit to it. I mean, it was a good match. I mean, Pat held his own in there with Gunther. And if Gunther hadn't been booked up as so strong as he has, I don't think it would have, like, if I just watched that match in a vacuum, it's a good match.
Right.
But if I have to watch it thinking, hey, this guy's been undefeated 995 out of 1,000 days, basically.
Right. He's lost 2 matches.
He's lost like 2 matches in like 4 years. Like, you should probably have it booked a little stronger against a guy that's an announcer, even though, he's an ex-athlete. You can look past that. And he's got size, but still, I want the potential future villain of my company to be booked a little bit stronger. But it was good. I mean, if they told them that's what they wanted out of it, they couldn't have gotten a better match out of that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't disagree with that. And we've talked about, if it was Pat McAfee versus anybody else, I don't think. And I don't think they gave him, he had some offense, but they didn't give him anything that was like super substantial. And anytime he did get help, it was because Gunther had got distracted by Michael Cole or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, when he goes to pick Pat up and Michael Cole grabs Gunther's leg and he falls on top of him, I'm like, if this is the fucking 3 count, I'm gonna lose my mind. And I'm so glad that Gunther kicked out, because that would have left such a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, that was the finish to Rick Rude and Warrior, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, Bobby Heat at WrestleMania 5, I think. Bobby Heat grabbed his leg. Yep.
I think he pulled Warrior's foot out when he was pulling for the Gorilla Slam, and Rude pinned him there. Just like, I think it was the exact same setup.
It's the exact same thing. Yep.
So if you would have told me that exact match was Pat McAfee versus Sami Zayn as a heel Sami Zayn, I would have thought so much different of it, because I would have thought, hey, they're more on an even playing field. That's a fantastic match.
Yeah.
You can see Gunther a little stronger. That's all. That's just a little gripe.
Yeah. I'm with you there. Like at the end too, like when Gunther's got him in the sleeper and he starts to like fight back to his feet, I got some very it got some very hard eye rolls from me, and I'm like, please don't let him get back to his feet. Like, luckily they didn't do too much with it, but I just thought at the end it was a little bit too much. But other than that, I can't really complain about it too much. I didn't expect that Pat McAfee wouldn't be able to hold his own, because when we've seen him wrestle, he can do some things. So obviously I didn't, so it was fine. It wasn't a bad match. I don't really have any complaints about it. Is there one that we're missing?
Cena and Orton.
Yeah, but I feel, because we only talked about 4 matches, right? So there's one that
there was Dom and
Dom and Penta.
Dom and Penta.
Which was a good match. And I think they're telling the story of Finn Balor seemed to be trying to thwart any of the Judgment Day's plans to help Dom. It felt like to me, it seemed like he was like making them slower, and he didn't want to hit them with the chair, because he kept like slowing down everything. And so I think they're more telling the story of how Finn probably is not going to be with the Judgment Day for much longer. So I thought it was a good match, and the crowd's really responded to Dom now too. He's getting heck of a babyface reaction.
Yeah, he definitely is. I don't have a lot to fill in on it because I was back in and out watching that match because I was grilling chicken. But I from what I did see, I enjoyed it, and I thought, like you said, Dom really is starting to win the crowd over, and it's weird to see it, but I get it. The man's putting in his work.
And I don't know how they're going to handle that, because I don't think you can make him. You can't make him babyface at this point because they're trying to tell the story of Finn Balor is going to be leaving the Judgment Day. You going to kick Dom out of the Judgment Day instead? That's not going to work.
Unless they just rewrite it and have Dominic written out, have Liv turn on him or something.
I mean that could happen maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do about
We'll
that.
see. It'll be a fun ride.
That is a conundrum that they put themselves in, and I guess we'll have to see where that plays out. And then yes, the main event: John Cena, Randy Orton. I thought this was light years better than what happened at WrestleMania. I know that this match had a lot of shenanigans and silliness at the end, but I loved the match. I thought it was fucking highly entertaining. I will admit that it did get a bit silly at the end, but wrestling is fucking guys play fighting in their underwear, so sometimes it's okay if it's a little silly, you know?
Yeah, I liked it. It was a much slower moving match. It was kind of what I hate to say wrestling at the main event level when it came to like Roman Reigns and Cena, or not CM Punk, and Cena. I feel like it's a lot more theatrical where you're getting a lot more story interweaved into the actual match itself.
Yeah.
And, you know, whether it's someone from the outside, whether it's a storyline where there's dialogue actually in the match, it's almost like a Marvel movie where you're getting dialogue in the fight. And
Right.
They really do a good job at keeping that out of the majority of the other matches and just keep that at the main event level. It makes it kind of feel unique. And it's different. I don't know if I can say I love it, but it's different enough that it makes it stand out and feel different, which is a good thing too.
I wouldn't if this happens in 3 or 4 matches, no, I don't love that. But if it happens in one match and it's the main event, then that's fine.
Yeah.
And obviously I am a John Cena mark, so I'm always going to like what John Cena does, and I'm always probably going to defend whatever is happening on the rest of this wrestling screen for John Cena, because I've always been a John Cena guy. I always have, and I always will be. Heel, babyface, it doesn't matter. And then, you know, him versus Orton is, you know, it's always something that I'm going to hold near to my heart because those are two of my favorite wrestlers of all time. You know, like those are my era type of guys. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah. and I get a new perspective of watching wrestling as an adult as I did as a child. Like I have different guys. Like when I was a child, I had, you know, Hulk Hogan and The Rock, and now I have, you know, John Cena and Orton. And even like as I've come to get older and go back and watching guys like Triple H, I've really grown to admire and more appreciate like what Triple H did in the ring now that I watch it as an adult, because he was never my favorite wrestler. He was never a guy that I enjoyed watching. But now when I watch him as an adult, I'm like, man, that guy is fucking next level. He's just so good.
Yeah, Randy Orton. Like I said, as an adult, Randy Orton really grew an appreciation for. I mean, I guess I still was an adult at the time when he first came out, kind of ish.
Right.
Was I an adult at 20 years old? Maybe.
I don't think so. I certainly wasn't.
But yeah, because I'm probably about the same age as Orton, and I feel like I've really grown to appreciate him over the years as well. And Cena. Yeah. Although I always did like Cena. I've always enjoyed Cena.
And I made bingo cards again, and I put on one of the bingo cards, a rapper shows up again. And a rapper did show up.
John Cena or K Quick?
K Quick Getting Rowdy showed up. R-Truth came out there. It was funny because nobody had gotten a bingo, and I forgot that R-Truth is a rapper. And Bryson was saying, I just needed a rapper to show up to win bingo. And I said, you know what, buddy? A rapper did show up because R-Truth is out there. He's a rapper. You win. Select a prize. I popped huge when R-Truth came out. I popped through the roof.
Oh gosh, I remember the good times and him and Little Jimmy and John Cena.
Yeah, those were the days. I did listen to an interview that R-Truth did with Chris Van Vliet. You know who Chris Van Vliet is?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's Inside with Chris Van Vliet. It's actually pretty funny. And R-Truth was talking about how he wants to sell a little Jimmy action figure with just nothing in the box. And I collect action figures. You collect action figures. Would you purchase an empty little Jimmy box?
Yeah, we're just a John Cena figure with him, and John Cena's just empty. You can't see him in the action figure.
Yep, I would buy both of those things. Yep, they would have my money.
It's a tag team set. It's John Cena and Little Jimmy, and there's just nothing in there.
There's nothing in there. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I like that. That's a great idea.
Great.
But yeah, John Cena retains, and then they did a thing at the press conference after where R-Truth comes in there. He's like, "Oh, John, I think you're great. Congratulations! I'm so proud of you. Even though people said you suck and you can't wrestle." And then Cena AA'd him through the table because he said that he crossed the line.
You went too far.
Funny. And I know this is crazy talk, but wouldn't it be something if somehow, in some crazy way, R-Truth beats John Cena to win the WWE Championship? That'd be crazy.
Wow, that would be great.
That would be nuts.
I think R-Truth might actually be the oldest person to ever win the championship if he wins. I think he's like 53 years old, 54 years old.
Let's see. He's pretty fucking old.
I mean, he hasn't looked different in the last 30 years, but
I remember seeing this from a few years ago, but it's like after the show was over and it was Roman Reigns. He's like, we all don't know this, but we have a nickname for R-Truth. Yeah, he's 53 years old.
That's right. Yeah.
We call him Immortal. He's like, he might look really young. He might look like he's 25, but today is his 50th birthday, y'all.
Yeah, 53 years old. That might be the oldest champion ever.
He is 5 years younger than his childhood. He is 5 years older than his childhood hero, John Cena, which is hilarious. But yeah, I mean, all in all, I thought it was a good show. Now we just have a couple of weeks until we get a Saturday night's main event. They've already announced one match on that show. It's going to be a tag team match. Sami Zayn and CM Punk will team to take on Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins. Here's a question I got to ask you. And maybe you agree or disagree with me with this. Do you agree or disagree with me that you think maybe one more person's going to get added to the group with Braun and with Breaker and Rollins? You think that's true? Or you think they're good where they're at?
I think it's true, and I absolutely hope it's someone I have in mind because I would love to see this person in this group.
That was going to be my next question. Who you got in mind?
I don't know if they'd keep the same name, but I think you'd have to, and that would be Kaiser.
Oh, he would be a good fit.
I would love to see Ludwig Kaiser in there as the guy that could be part of that group, and maybe he'd be the guy that could maybe take a loss for them if they need be. But he also could be the guy who's, starting to shine,
right,
that hasn't gotten his shot yet, and eventually could be the one to turn on both of Braun and Seth at one point and kind of be the Seth Rollins of that Shield kind of group, where he's the one that goes full, that turns on them. And I would love to see Kaiser get a major push.
I should have known you were going to pick Kaiser, and that wouldn't have been someone that would have come across my mind. But now that you said it, I think that would work. And I think they have liked what they've been getting with him because he had a whole program with Penta, and I think he got the first win over Penta, and so obviously they see something in him. And they released Vini Vici, and they didn't release Kaiser. So I can't really think of anybody off the top of my head, but I do feel like they're going to add somebody to the group because they have so many enemies right now. They've got Roman, they got Punk, they got Sammy. I feel like they're just going to be like they need somebody, or maybe. This guy's been out for a while because he broke his ankle last year during War Games. Bronson Reed might be a good person to add to this group too. I know you kind of already got like your heater guy with Breaker, but I just think another monster in the group would be good. And Bronson Reed doesn't say a whole lot, and that's why I think this would be good for him.
I know that they originally were planning on sticking with the bloodline, but I think it would kind of be oversaturated with him and Jeff Cobb both kind of being the big guy of the bloodline. Like, I don't think you need that. And I don't know where that lets Bronson Reed fall. But he seems to be a great guy. And not only that, he's good in the ring and has massive size. So
yeah,
I would love to see him in that role, but I'm still just like focused in on Kaiser. Like, I think that group with Kaiser involved just seems money to me. I could see maybe an Austin Theory in there too, but I feel like they've kind of let him go down in that comedic road, and he almost needs to go away for a while.
Yeah, he needs like to take a break, 3 or 4 months or something, and come back with something different, because he has no. Grayson Waller too. I mean, Grayson Waller had something in NXT, but I think that's going to be completely killed with the tag team with Austin Theory. And Austin Theory would have worked like a year ago, but he said if he goes away now and comes back. But you never know, because anything can happen, and then your view of someone changes just by one thing if it's really, really good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could go from looking at someone as a joke to not. If like Mark Henry for many, many years was a joke, right? But all of a sudden he starts being, he's the world's strongest man again, starts dominating people, and then he's the world heavyweight champion. And you're not going to argue with that, because fucking look at him. So who knows? Who knows what can happen?
And when you said someone that got injured a while ago, I was starting to do some math in my head to think, when did Ilya Dragunov get injured?
It's a great point. He's been out for a while, hasn't he?
He's been out for a while, so I don't know what. I'm assuming they'll probably program him in somewhere with Gunther, but who knows? Maybe not right away.
I mean, if you want to have, the best match you've had in a while, throw those two in the ring together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, they're 1-1, because Gunther beat him on NXT UK, and Ilya beat him back on the NXT Takeover, back when they used to be called that. But yeah, all in all, I thought it was a pretty good premium live event. They were on a pretty good run of good shows. So I would say the worst show they've had this year was the second night of WrestleMania, and that wasn't even a bad show.
Yeah, I enjoyed it till the last match, and
I enjoyed it till Travis Scott came.
Yep.
And I saw Travis Scott was at the Barcelona. He was at the Barcelona Real Madrid game this weekend, so he wouldn't have been able to make it to Backlash anyway. So,
sorry.
So we had to get a real rapper named R-Truth out there.
Yeah.
Is he the one that is Travis Scott the one that's with Rihanna, or is that a different rapper?
I think he may have been at one point. I don't think he is now. I don't know. I don't really keep up on that kind of stuff.
Well, I think he might have been with one of the
Kardashians,
Jenner sisters or something.
Yeah.
I don't know who.
I'm not keeping up with them.
I don't want to fucking keep up with them either. I fucking hate them. They're the worst.
I could probably walk in my living room and find out, but I'm not going to.
Oh, don't do that. I know. My sister, too. I could call my sister right now. She's seen every episode of The Kardashians, and I'm like, why do you watch that shit? I can't. I don't know. But then again, I like wrestling, so. But then again, let the Kardashians start beating each other with fucking chairs. I'll watch that shit.
Yeah, sign me up for that.
Anyway, last week we searched for worst TNA match ever, and the first thing that I saw was Jeff Hardy versus Sting. I've since been informed that might not be the worst TNA match ever, but hey, I didn't do any research. I just Googled it and went with the first match I saw. So, but this week we're actually going to watch. I think it was 2 years ago, maybe. Me, you, and Glenn watched the first ever TNA pay-per-view, weekly pay-per-view. And today we're going to watch the second one. I'm sure you don't remember anything that happened in the first one, do you?
No, I can't say I recall too much of it.
All right. Well, I'm going to put it on the screen here, the second one. They're going to do a little bit of a recap of what happened in the first one. I'm going to put the audio on for that so that maybe we can understand. So I'll press play and give me a thumbs up so I can make sure that you can actually hear. Well, first I got to unmute it.
On the very first match, and let you try to beat all 20 of them people.
Oh, there was like a battle royal for the championship.
I had that same exact shirt from Express or Structure at the time.
I bet you do.
That exact same shirt. Oh my gosh. I'm not even kidding. I legit had that same shirt.
Wow, I didn't think you were. I think you were kidding.
Wait, Ken
Shamrock's here with chops that are not as good as Thomas Price's.
No, I mean those are second to Thomas's.
The wrestling's real outlaw, Scott Hall.
Just focus on trying to beat up one.
Huh?
He doesn't look too bad.
Jackie Fargo.
Jackie Fargo. I want you to remember who did this to you. I want you to remember Fargo.
Okay. This Toby Keith should have been a cowboy. He's dead now. R.I.P.
There's so much that's going on. It's like you're watching it in fast forward.
Yeah, it's a big mess.
Like this recap.
Mayor has this refreshed your memory of the first pay-per-view at all?
Oh boy. Was Toby Keith wrestling Jeff Jarrett for the title?
No, but he does get in the battle royal, I believe. This guy looks like a meth head.
Is that Sheamus?
He looks like a meth head. Okay, I'm gonna mute it. R-Truth was in this thing. There it is. There's K Quick. I'm sorry, I think he was known as Ron Killings. He just threw out Lenny Lane. It wasn't really, but
Ron Killings.
That guy looks like a really large meth head. And I know something about meth heads. I live in Nebraska.
Who's the big redheaded gentleman?
A big redheaded gentleman. I don't know.
Maybe he's got red boots. I don't know if he's redheaded.
Oh, so there's Toby Keith. Toby Keith, a member of the Bloods.
Yeah, I see Toby Keith there with his Bloods do-rag on.
Toby Keith, gangster rapper.
I should have been a gangster. I should have learned to shoot and deal drugs.
I'd be selling that cocaine down to Pablo Escobar. I like how we can make songs. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat here. Dick Blood's in the ring. He's a referee.
Wait. Oh, you're right. It is Steamboat. I thought you were joking. I'm trying to think of when I did it. So I think we were at my sister's birthday dinner, and my niece brought a couple of her friends with them, and I shared with them the news that wrestler Ricky Steamboat's real name is Dick Blood. Pretty sure I told all them that. You might not just start throwing around those two names back to back out in a public place.
Yeah, especially when you're eating dinner. Yeah, it's probably not the best place. Start throwing around Dick Blood.
And Jackie Fargo, what a name call out in 2003 or whatever this would have been.
It's a deep cut. Yeah, I don't know what year it was. It's 2003 or 2004. It might have been 2002. Who knows? But yeah, I don't know. Did that clear up anything for you about what happened in the first pay-per-view?
Dick Blood.
Yep, everywhere. It was all over that pay-per-view. Just Dick Blood everywhere. It's a disgusting mess.
That sounds like what you get from Sonny.
Yeah, you get a lot worse than that from Sonny.
Dick itch and Dick swollen.
It itches and then it bleeds is the problem.
Oh gosh, who we got coming out here?
Speaking of that, R.I.P. Sabu
and Don Beanie Baby West.
Yeah, and then
this guy looks like right.
He looks like not Post Malone.
I was gonna say the guy from Korn.
Oh, he does look like the guy. Doesn't he kind of look like Post Malone though? Post Malone had some weird dreads.
Yeah, it's like if the Post Malone and the guy from Korn somehow had a baby.
I always want to grow carnations. No, I won't grow roses. I grow carnations. Sorry, that's a remix. His name is Flower Malone. It's different.
Yeah, it's All Day I Dream About Beanie Babies.
Yes, absolutely. Don West, who's got a Hawaiian shirt on.
You see the sign behind him?
I'd rather be at home.
No, the one before that, it was hey, yo, I'm drunk.
It said I'm drunk. Oh, was the weird part. Yeah, there it is again.
Hey, yo, like Scott Hall.
I don't know if they're. It says also has 420 on there.
I'm drunk. Oh, you're right. There is an O there.
Are they drunk or are they high? Because this is 420 on there too. They don't know what's going on.
No, they're not doing any of that.
Can you hear my dogs barking?
No, I don't hear them.
Okay, good. They are barking at something in the backyard. They are upset. Here comes Jeff Jarrett. I think he's actually wrestling Scott Hall. I think it's the first match.
What a kickoff match. You get
Jeff Jarrett wrestling, wearing what every dad wears to the pool nowadays.
You got two WWE Hall of Famers going at it in the opening match.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. Spend my days working hard on the go, but
the hands on the clock keep spinning too slow.
I lost. Are you back? Okay. Everything
Yeah.
went black there for a
I
second.
lost it for a second. I don't know. He always puts the peace sign up for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know what that it's about.
How does Jeff Jarrett have such good wavy hair? Does he wear a wave cap, do you think?
Yeah, Jeff. I don't know if you know this, but Jeff Jarrett has his own line of wave caps. They're called Tennessee Waves.
Oh my gosh. Is that Jackie Fargo again?
Yes.
And we got Scott Hall and Larry the Cable Guy. Who's that with him?
Is this Scott Hall?
Is that Toby Keith?
Yes. Of course, Scott Hall is with Jackie Fargo and Larry the Toby the Keith Cable Guy.
Is anyone alive in this group?
I don't think so.
Wow.
No, they're all gone.
Wow. Rest in
I
peace.
think Toby was the last one to leave the earth out of these three.
Yeah, I don't think Jackie Fargo was alive much longer after this. I think he died pretty early 2000s, didn't he?
Yeah, I want to say that you're right. Yeah. I want to say that you're right. So they're calling Scott Hall the last real outlaw, Scott Hall.
Man, WCW's not even griping about this. He literally is wearing the exact same trunks.
Oh, WCW's out of business by now, pal.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing they can do about
He's
it.
got the same vest, the same trunks, same elbow
He's
pad.
already went back to WWE and got fired by them already, I think, by this point.
Wow, okay. I mean, at least Jarrett's wearing new gear. Scott Hall's like,
Well, also, like, Jarrett is really invested in this because it's his company. So
yeah, it's true.
he can't really be fucking around. What you drinking there, pal? I just heard you pop something open.
A Twisted Tea. Can I show that on the screen here?
Yeah, I mean, nobody's gonna see it. I'm drinking my new favorite seltzer, Cork.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that.
Yeah, this one's a raspberry bomb pop. It is delicious and probably the best seltzer I've ever had. It is so good.
Wow. Yeah, that deserves a shout out.
Yeah, it's really good. If you can find these, Cork is what they're called. Like Corky, Cork is what they're called. They're really, really good. I had one on Sunday. Saturday, I had some this weekend, and they were blueberry bubble gum.
And I've never seen them around this area, but like I said, I'm gonna have to check out the good old.
Those ones might be exclusive to my area because they have like Kansas City Royals stuff on it, and that's like the closest baseball team to here. So a lot of people like the Royals.
Okay.
A lot of Royals fans and Cubs fans here.
Not even Cardinals fans in that area, huh?
Well, you get some Cardinals fans, yeah. I mean, if I had to say the third team, would probably be the Cardinals. But I think that's just because a lot of people probably watch them on TV. And it's the same thing with the Cubs. Like, the Cubs are on WGN every day in the summertime here. So I'm sure a lot of people just came up watching them, and that's why they like them. And plus, it's the Cubs. I'm sure there's a lot of Cubs fans in fucking Ohio. The Cubs fans everywhere.
Yeah, it's just kind of one of those teams, kind of like, the Yankees. Maybe not to the extent of the Yankees, but
yeah. Because there's also people who jump on the Yankees bandwagon, and I don't know how anybody could ever jump on a Cubs bandwagon because they were terrible for forever. So
it's weird finding someone that grew up in the 90s that's like a Yankees / Cubs / Lakers.
Yeah,
like they're literally the weirdest fan. Like they're just the biggest front runners ever.
If this is the first time you've listened to this show, I wanted to let you know that anytime we watch wrestling and it's a good match, we usually talk about other stuff. So that's probably why we haven't mentioned anything about this match, because it's not bad.
This has been a solid match. Yeah, I mean, everything's been good. As much crap as people have always given Jeff Jarrett, he's one of those people, like we were talking about earlier. As an adult, I realized how damn good Jeff Jarrett was at professional wrestling. Like I took him for granted as, kind of just being this bland heel at the time. Yeah. And then I realized how good he is.
He's also has obviously he's like a third generation, so he should have a good mind for the business, and he does. And I always thought that he was kind of a jerk, or an asshole or whatever. But then I listened to his podcast, and I was like, he's actually a pretty cool, down to earth guy who you'd like to, just sit around and hang out with. I was gonna say have a beer, but he doesn't drink anymore. So yeah, no, I agree with you there too. I never really saw a whole lot in him when I was younger, but I definitely learned to appreciate more of what he brought to the table.
He never tried being the cool heel. Like he was the heel that you'd want to hate as a kid or teenager or whatever.
And I think you can put that in the same realm as like Triple H too, because Triple H was never a cool heel. He was the fucking guy you hated. You absolutely hated him. Yeah. So why would you like him?
Yeah. Once he left DX, I guess if you considered DX heels, but they're probably like some of the biggest merch sellers at the time. So I don't know how you call them heels.
Yeah, I mean they were heels very briefly after WrestleMania 14, but it was one of those things where people were already cheering them.
This kid looks miserable.
We got a sleeper hold by Jeff Jarrett. That's why the fans are asleep.
No, that's not a sleeper hold. Scott just called for it. He said, "It's hitting me, brother."
He's like, bro, I need a Jeff Hardy nap.
Well, what do you think, Scott? No, he probably just drank everything. I was going to say, what do you think Scott Hall's drink of choice was? But whatever.
I always heard that he was a Jack Daniels guy, but anybody who's an alcoholic and not a good father drinks Jack Daniels. I'm not speaking from experience, but
sorry, Cody Hall.
Sorry, Cody Hall. I'm sure he tried. Sorry, I didn't mean. I was running down my own father, not Scott Hall. I just want people to know.
Yeah,
Toby Keith just trying to trip the ref?
It looked like he did. Maybe he was trying to get his attention, but it did look like he attempted a trip. Who is this ref?
Yeah, he's a bald motherfucker.
Yeah,
they did. I know you don't watch Dark Side of the Ring, do you?
Some of it, yeah.
So there was the one on Buff Bagwell, and like there's a guy who's in it that was like his friend who was a referee, and I think it might have been this guy. I mean, if you're gonna watch him, the Buff Bagwell one's not really that sad. It's just like, oh my god, what a white trash existence.
Yeah, he's Florida man. He's like a title of Florida man. Florida man does this. That's him.
Yeah, like some of those Dark Side of the Rings aren't really like the one about Herb Abrams and the UWF. That's my favorite one because that guy was just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically a smaller budget Tony Khan, but we won't.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Ooh, we're getting a raise.
Here comes Stay Quick getting rowdy. He's out here to save Jeff Jarrett, I guess. No, he just punched him. Do you remember when R-Truth is in the WWF with SK Quick with the Road Dogg?
I was going to say him and Jarrett and Road Dogg all had a thing together, didn't they, early on?
I don't think Jarrett was in it because I think he was in WCW at that time, but Road Dogg definitely.
Did my eyes just deceive me? Did I see Brian Christopher?
That was definitely Grandmaster Sexay.
Wow, another one who's gone way too soon.
I think he's known as Brian Lawler on here, but yeah, I mean, yeah, this is really a who's who of sad wrestling situations.
Really is. I mean, if you think about it, Jeff has gotten himself together and he's doing pretty darn good in life.
Yeah, I mean, still wrestling, still collecting a paycheck from AEW. Oh, Toby Keith's in here. Oh, that was the worst low blow in the history of low blows. That was awful.
Yeah.
Come on, Toby.
He hit him in the thigh.
You should have been a cowboy, but you couldn't be a wrestler. The bald referee done slid in the ring. How isn't that a DQ? You saw the whole thing, ref. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's some carny stuff there. Wait. Oh, never mind. I was really confused. I thought it was Gerald Briscoe all of a sudden.
He said, hey, now Mr. McMahon says he going to buy this here company. So we got cage dancers who they really know how to work the hips.
I don't remember this in TNA at all, but I guess that does.
Hips. Here comes Francine.
All right. Roll Tide.
She's like Trailer Park High. Is that Mickey James?
It is Mickey James. Holy cow.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Don't know.
What is happening? Oh, we're having Miley Cyrus is here.
Don Beanie Baby West.
Oh, now we got a cat fight. Okay. Hair pulling. Jerry.
I bet someone's actually chanting that in the crowd right now.
Oh, we got clothes ripping off. So here, I probably told the story on this podcast before, but I'm going to tell it again. When I was in the 8th grade, like 10 girls got into like a massive brawl in the cafeteria during breakfast time. They were like fucking pulling out each other's weaves, like hitting each other with lunch trays and shit. And like literally me and all my friends got up and started going, Jerry. And so somebody saw the principal coming from his office. Somebody yelled, Mr. Carroll's coming. And we all ran back to our table and sat down like we weren't even watching.
Wow.
Who is this ginormous gentleman?
So we got their ass kicked. Cheeks.
Cheeks. That motherfucker's name is Cheeks. Stop
Oh
it.
no, I thought you didn't know. Somebody about to get their ass kicked.
Somebody's gonna eat some steaks tonight. Somebody's gonna eat some biscuits.
I know you don't peruse too much social media anymore, but did you happen to ever see the video of that one girl walking down the high school hallway and they're playing Mark Henry's theme?
No, I wish.
Oh my gosh, it's pretty good. I'll
We
have
got
to find it
Cheeks
for you.
taking on Cue Ball Jones.
I don't
It
know
looks
who
like
the
fucking
person
Lord
is.
Tensai, kind of. Not that guy, of course, but the other guy. This guy. Is that Lord Tensai?
It's Daryl Winslow. It's Carl.
We got a
Winslow.
giant Daryl Winslow. We got a giant disco ball in the ring. Frank Parker. What a terrible wrestling name.
What a terrible face.
Frank Parker. That's so bad.
I mean, Frank Parker
Sir,
and Cheeks.
Sir, what's your name? Frank Parker. Oh, that's good.
Go with it. All right, Frank.
Oh, Cheeks isn't going to take his shirt off. I'm shocked.
I think it's all one outfit.
It's a one piece. It's a romper.
I'm not sure about one piece. It might be a tent.
It's a few pieces.
It's like one of those things where they're like, Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. You can buy, I don't know. They're selling like carpets and rugs out from underneath of that tent.
He's like, you know what? I can use that as wrestling gear. That guy's thighs are bigger than Yokozuna's, and that's something.
His legs have creases, and the creases have creases.
They really do. All that ass in those pants. It isn't a onesie. That's a two-piece, buddy. You can see his belly.
I know. I just saw belly.
Holy ass. That guy's dead.
It's just Jacob Fat.
Oh my God. Stop it. He's already dead.
This is enough. Let's call the bell. Ring the bell. It's the
This
shirt
is-
keeps
See, this is
keeps
more
going
our
farther and farther.
If this is the first time you've listened to this show, this is more our speed.
Yeah, we're actually reacting to the match.
A guy named Cheeks.
No, I'm not sure what's going on with the commentary there, but get it back on Cheeks here.
Yeah, Jeremy Borash was arguing with some hot chick. I'm not sure what's going on with that. And Big Baldy here.
Coincidentally, Cheeks is also the name I had for Mickey James back in the day.
I heard she had that name. A lot of guys called her that. I don't know about Nick, but he's about to get that ass across his chest. He sure did. There's no way he's getting up. Did you see him? He was almost like the look on his face when he did that was like, I don't know how I'm going to get up. I'm going to run it back. And look at his face when he hits that. He's like, I don't know if.
Wait, he didn't get the 3 count on that?
He looked like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get up. Look at his face when he lands on him. He's like, I don't know. Will I be able to get up? He did not get the 3 count there for some reason.
How? What's Frank Parker doing? Sell for him, Frank.
You think Frank Parker's related to Peter? Watch him. Look at his face. It's like, oh God, how am I going to get up? He did it though.
Wow, that was great.
Here comes a splash. 1, 2, 3. That is a lot of ass right there, pal. Good Lord.
Why couldn't he just got the 3 count on the first sit down pin? Like, why did you have to go back and do that?
Because you needed that visual, pal.
Oh my gosh, that is too much. Is Jeremy
Look at
Borash
this.
being
Even
held up?
the guy behind Borash can't believe it. He's like, I thought I had a big ass, but that guy's ass is twice the size of mine.
I think Jeremy Borash is getting ready to get held up for like child support or something. I don't know what's going on there.
Or he paid for a blowjob, one or the other.
Could be.
Okay, well, this girl's really good at moving her hips back and forth. That's really great. Do you think that Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné watched these TNA weekly pay-per-views, and that's where she got her dance moves from, these girls?
I can see it.
She can't. Tell someone, if you know Mercedes, tell her to stop dancing. She can't.
And
I can't dance, therefore I don't do it on TV.
Yeah, I've got no problems on not dancing on television, in public, or in private.
Oh my God, why is this still happening?
How did they clear this with Jerry Jarrett? Like, there's no way Jerry Jarrett was like, Yeah, I like this.
See, now I think what happened is while they got the girls, they asked him what his chicken salad recipe was, and he was so busy, talking about his chicken salad recipe that who the fuck are these guys?
The Texas Rangers.
Tweedledee and Tweedledummy here. Yeah, they do look like relief pitchers. They might be relief pitchers. We don't know.
They look like the Texas Rangers. Is that Larry Bird?
Did he? It does look like Larry Bird. It looks like Larry Turd. People over there, what's up? If you feel me, stand up and say what's up. What's up?
What's up?
Thank you.
This guy was just involved in the main event of the pay-per-view from last week.
He's the fucking Highlander of wrestling. R-Truth is never gonna die. He's 53 years old. He hasn't aged a day since then. I don't know why, but I feel like these guys he's talking to are fucking NASCAR drivers.
They've got to be.
Yeah.
R-Truth's look hasn't aged, nor has his rap. He's used the same exact rap song for the past 25 years. Hasn't added one word to it.
Actually, I think he tried to do a different rap song, but they didn't work out. They're like, nah, go back to that. What's up? People know the words. They can sing it.
What's up? What's up? This guy.
I think he just challenged R-Truth to a race, and R-Truth said, I can run faster than you. And he said, no, a car race. Oh, well, I got nothing. Sorry.
I think you're right.
Oh, here comes Grandmaster Sexay, dressed like a zebra for some reason. A zebra, as Glenn would say. Are we gonna get a? We're gonna get a rap. It's a battle between a rapper and a dancer. Mayor, are you ready?
Wow.
That was an atomic drop. We need more atomic drops in wrestling. I'm gonna make a shirt that says "Bring back the atomic drop."
And the crazy thing is, like, they didn't even think about trying to. Good Lord, that was a terrible bump. Yeah, they didn't even think about repackaging Brian Christopher at all. Like, they just used his exact same gimmick from WWF.
Yeah, just get him out there. It's fine.
With the goggles, the same pants, the same glass.
Did you ever see the movie Can't Hardly Wait?
Yeah.
He looks like Seth Green in Can't Hardly Wait.
You're right.
Like a less jacked Seth Green, a more jacked Seth Green in Can't Hardly Wait because he had those fucking stupid glasses and everything.
Do you have rallies in your neck of the woods?
We do not have rallies, no.
Okay. Well, Seth Green, I think, originally got his start on a rallies commercial, if you've never seen it.
Get the fuck out of here. We'll have to look that up. Let's see what we've got next here in the Total Non-Faction. He was just out here. Or was that last week?
I don't know.
He still dances the same, too. Those are the same dance moves that are
same.
All the same. K Crush is his name.
Wow. Why'd they give him 2 Ks? It seems weird.
Well, at least they didn't give him 3, At least they didn't give him 3.
That sounds like something the Nashville network would have approved.
Yeah, they would have been big on Killer Carl Cox. I don't think they were ever on the Nashville network. It wasn't until it became Spike TV. I think that's when TNA got on there. It became Spike. TV for men. You remember those commercials? Spike TV for men. And it'd be like a girl moaning and like a farting sound and a beer opening.
I think you nailed it.
TV for guys.
That was literally everything on the commercial. And now
Grandmaster Sexay, he's got Ricky Starks with him. Oh wait, never mind. I take it back. He's not Ricky Starks anymore, is he? What's his name in NXT?
Ricky Saints.
Isn't he like the North American champion?
Yeah, you're right.
Hold on. The one motherfucker's name is Hermie.
And you are right also. I think they're both NASCAR drivers.
Hermie.
Yeah.
How mad would you be at your parents if they named you fucking Hermie?
That's a terrible name.
That sounds like a disease. Like, oh God, I got to go to the fucking doctor. I got the Hermes again.
Oh my gosh.
Sounds like what Marty Jannetty gets from having sex with his daughter.
Man, I gotta go get some new antibiotics. I got the Hermes again.
Birds every time I pee. I gotta go outside.
Oh boy.
All right, here we go. It's a rapper versus a dancer. I mean, yeah, R-Truth can dance too, but he's mainly rapper. He mainly raps. That's what I'm saying. Oh, he knocked his glasses clean off. When's the last time you saw 2 guys wrestle and they both had white pants on?
That's a real humdinger right there.
Yeah, I can't think of it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if 2 members of the right to censor face each other, but they wore white shirts, not white pants. They wore black pants. So.
Yeah, and even Jeff Jarrett, he wore silver trunks, but they weren't pants.
One of the Armstrongs is the referee here.
I would have to think what was it? Mordecai wore white pants. Did he ever wrestle someone in white pants?
Mordecai. Wow. Wasn't that Snitsky?
No, that was before Snitsky. It was
Yeah, but wasn't that Snitsky that did the Mordecai character? Wasn't it Snitsky?
I don't think so.
Maybe. I remember when Snitsky did the gimmick where he loved feet, and I don't even think that was a gimmick. I think that's just how he is in real life.
Oh yeah, Vince just called him out and was like, "What do you want? What do you like, pal?" And he's like, "Feet."
It's just like, me too. Do you like poop? I mean, feet. Sorry.
No,
anyway, back to the ring.
Yeah, I would be sitting here thinking all day who Mordecai was. It was shit. What was his name? It wasn't Barry Windham. It was a tall guy with blonde hair.
That would just add to all the bad gimmicks they gave Barry Windham.
Was it the guy that one of the skyscrapers? Why can't I think of his name?
Oh, Dan Spivey?
Dan Spivey. I think it was Spivey.
That would have been way too late for Dan Spivey. Because that was like in the 2000, 2007, 2008. It could have been Dan Spivey because he would have I think Dan Spivey retired from wrestling like in the early 90s because his back was so messed up. I think Waylon Mercy was like his last thing.
That's who I'm thinking of was Waylon Mercy. I'm confusing the two.
Well, Waylon Mercy. Well, fucking now, all of a sudden we're gonna stop this entire podcast because we got to figure out who is Mordecai.
I don't know.
Who exactly was Mordecai? I already know who Hermes is.
Hermes Sadler?
Can't spell that shit. So it was Kevin Thorne. That's who it was.
Kevin Thorne.
The wrestling vampire.
Yes.
Kevin Thorne. The second wrestling vampire. I forgot about Gangrel. I think he was an actual vampire, though. Like him and Luna Vachon married each other and sucked each other's blood.
That's something.
Which, ironically, I think Megan Fox and MGK did the same thing. And then they broke up. So if that goes to show you anything, don't drink your partner's blood. You guys will break up for sure.
Don't do that.
AWI Potter relationship advice. Don't drink your partner's blood. That's disgusting. Don't drink anybody's blood, you weirdo. Don't even drink your own. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, all of those things seem like bad ideas for 1,000, Alex.
I don't want to be your friend. If that's what
Did we just get a Stone Cold Stunner?
It was a Brian Lawler stunner.
And then he even did the Stunner taunt.
He was like, fuck it, I'll steal that gimmick. Why not?
It's better than this.
That's true. That's another thing we were talking about. You were talking about like the theatrics of the match, like with Roman and John Cena. Stone Cold's was the same thing. Stone Cold didn't have any. He had classic wrestling matches before Owen Hart dropped them on his head, but after that, every one of his matches had a bunch of Gaga in it. Had to because it didn't work like that.
You're right. Yeah, I mean, he really did have all of the theatrics of whatever's going on here.
Oh, here we go. Now they're just assaulting, and apparently the referees don't give a shit about anything. If you're a NASCAR driver, you can just assault K Crush's nuts in the middle of the match, and the referee doesn't give a shit.
Both these guys with their tucked in shirts into their jeans just looks funny to me.
Great. Now fucking K Crush is gonna have to go to the ER because he's got fucking the Hermies, so he's gonna have to get the fucking antibiotics. So they just gave him the Hermies, bastards.
Oh, not the glasses.
Oh, for fuck's sakes! I hope he misses.
I'm done. I don't want to see Brian Christopher win this match.
We won. And guess what? We're done. That's the last match we're gonna watch.
I can't watch anymore after this. I'm upset.
The mayor's so mad he's not even gonna be able to sleep tonight because they gave K Crush, R-Truth, K Quick, whatever you want to call him. They gave him the Hermes. The referee did nothing about it, and then Brian Lawler won with those stupid fucking glasses. Rest in peace, though.
I've got the Hermes just watching that.
Well, folks, make sure you subscribe to us on all the podcast platforms and on YouTube so that you don't get the Hermes, because you will. If you don't subscribe to AWI Pod and listen to this show every week, you will 100% get the Hermes, and that's a fact. Mayor of Canton, usually this is the part of the show where we do the plugs. Glenn usually does his plugs, but I'm going to do the plugs for Glenn this week. Make sure you check out the Unbooking the Territory podcast, where our buddies Rob and Dan do the first and last of wrestling. Also, look at the life and times of Tank Abbott on Unbooking the Tankatory. Also, Unstacking the Datatory, where the road to Wembley The most watched wrestling match of all time, over 18 million viewers, was Big Daddy takes on Giant Haystacks, and also Being the Elite Gator Golf, where they've now put away the golf clubs and they're playing silly games in the clubhouse. You can check out all that stuff. Just look up the Unbooking the Territory podcast. You can find that. And, of course, you can check out the Doctor Who podcast with Danny Inside. That is on SJP World Media. And, of course, always have a listen to our friends DDT Wrestling with DC and Doc. Mayor of Canton, what do you need to plug?
We always give a good shout out to our good friend, Mr. Thomas Bryce, who we referenced earlier today in the Battle of the Chops between him and Ken Shamrock. And Ken Shamrock.
Ken Sham Chop, not because he doesn't have good chops as Thomas Bryce. Sorry.
Ken Shamrock is in second place to the clear winner and champion of the Chops Championship, Mr. Thomas Bryce. Man, that was a tongue twister.
That really was.
And check me out at the old X app, Mayor of Canton. And since I'm looking at the clock here, I know it's past midnight in the good old UK, which means one thing.
Oh, yeah.
Since it is past midnight in the UK, we have to give a special warm, very happy birthday to our good friend who is not here with us tonight. And hopefully we'll be back next week, Mr. Glenn Abbott. And you can find him on X at GA WrestleNut.
I believe so.
And happy birthday, Glenn. We're hoping for a good, speedy, healthy recovery here from you. And happy birthday, buddy.
Yeah, happy birthday to Glenn. That is correct. It is absolutely. It's been Glenn's birthday for a couple of hours now over there in the UK. As a matter of fact, when we get off of here, I'm going to message him and tell him happy birthday. Happy birthday to Glenn. Hopefully he'll be back and healthy with us next week. Let's keep our fingers crossed for that. We don't have anything else to plug because the mayor and me did all the plugs already. So the only thing left to do is for the mayor to say goodbye.
Goodbye.